Today, we're sharing our honest review of Secrets Playa Blanca, Costa, Mujeres.
We'll go through what we loved about this resort and also discuss some things that could have been better.
In our last video, we showed you around a preferred club junior suite swim-out king room with all of its amazing amenities. But in case you're new here, we're Andy and Jenna, better known as couple travelers.
We've spent the last 5 years exploring the world, covering everything across theme parks, cruises, and resorts.
Ever since Secrets Playa Blanca opened in 2024, it quickly became one of the most popular resorts in Mexico.
But does its popularity mean it has the same level of service and luxury that Secrets is known for?
That's why we're here today bringing you our honest review of Secrets Playa Blanca, Costa, Mujeres. It's our honest review because we paid full price for this vacation, so we weren't comped or gifted anything in any way for our stay.
And for additional context for our review, this was our second stay with Secrets. We were traveling as a group of 6, so 3 couples, and we were in a preferred club room. Specifically, we were in the preferred club junior suite swim out king. It's a long name. We do have a full tour of the exact room that we stayed in if you'd like to see that. We also have a full walkthrough tour of this resort already out on the channel, so you can go check those out after this video.
So for the review, in this video, we're gonna be talking about the things that we liked about Secrets, and then at the end of the video, we're gonna be talking about the things that we didn't like so much about Secrets Playa Blanca. So starting off with what we liked about the resort, it kind of sounds a little cliche, but the resort itself is beautiful. It's brand new, under 2 years old, and it just looks like you want a resort in Cancun to look. It is clean, it is modern, it has modern amenities in the rooms, like plenty to do, 4 pools, beautiful white sand beach, just good variety of dining, just this resort has it all.
Obviously, as Andy mentioned, the 4 pools, any pool vibe you were looking for is at this resort, but this beach really stood out compared to some other resorts that we've been to. No seaweed in sight.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something to look out for. I know you see those like videos on social media and stuff of just seaweed everywhere. Nope, this was soft white sand, clear blue waters, beautiful, and the resort was also very easy to navigate. Resorts, especially of this size, can be very overwhelming when you first arrive. It was very, very easy to kind of get your bearings. Pretty much on day 1 and day 2, we already felt comfortable walking around and knew our way around. The next thing that we really loved about this resort is the service, and specifically the pool and beach concierge service that everybody at the resort gets. You're all pretty much on an even playing field when it comes to that. They would see you coming out in the morning and heading to a pool, and they would come and like take your bag from you and walk you over, make sure you have chairs, help get you set up. There were constant drink servers coming around where you could, make sure you have a fresh drink. You could order food to your chair anytime. They blew up our float for us. They even helped us track down other floats that guests had left behind when they left the resort, which was really great for our party of 6.
And that's actually like a good travel tip you might hear, and we've said this before in other Secrets videos, like bring a float, because they don't proactively offer them, but they do have a whole stockpile of them clearly. So if you want one, ask the concierge, it's likely they'll have one for you.
The concierge would come by, clean your sunglasses.
Yeah.
I loved that. Hadn't seen that at other resorts before. That was really nice. One day they came by with cold towels by the pool, which always like smell really good. They're sprayed or dunked in something. But it was just very next level of service that we found here.
To sum it up, it's just a really strong attention to detail. They're there, they're watching the guests, they have an eye for all the little things that can make a guest stay better, and that was certainly noticed by us. The next thing that we liked is that the preferred club area was just that. It was its own area of the resort. Since Secrets Playa Blanca is new, they're designing this resort purposefully with how they want the preferred club to integrate into the rest of the resort. So odds are, if you're staying at a Secrets resort that's newly built or renovated in the last couple of years, you're gonna be seeing this across the portfolio because it's really nice for the preferred club guests to have kind of a level of exclusivity in their own area of the resort, but at least at Playa Blanca, it was done in a way that didn't make the other guests, at least from our perspective, like we would feel alienated if we weren't staying preferred club. Like you had to go to a certain part of the resort to get there, but if you walked past it, like you weren't necessarily missing anything.
Right, so if I was a guest not staying preferred club, which at our last Secrets we didn't stay that, it's not like everywhere you go in the resort there's something you can't access. So it's not like, oh, I'm in the lobby, I can't go to that bar, and oh, now I'm walking over here, I can't go to that restaurant for breakfast, and now I can't go to that pool. Like everything was in one section. It was the lounge, the bar, the preferred club pool, and then the preferred club section of the beach was right in front. So everything was right there, and all of the preferred club rooms are right by it as well. So it's a great thing. If you have it, you're all kind of there in one spot, and if not, you're not walking by things feeling like you missed out. If that makes sense.
And each resort, like I said, is going to be different. So this is just the case at Playa Blanca. When we stayed at Acama, like Jenna said, it didn't necessarily have its own pool and kind of like dedicated part of the resort, but we like this feature for it being a newer Secrets resort. And one of our future videos coming to the channel will be a full overview of what's included and what's not included in Preferred Club at Secrets. So make sure you subscribe for that. But before that video comes out, we're gonna be doing a full dining overview. That'll actually be the next video on the channel here of Secrets Playa Blanca, going through in detail all the restaurants here at the resort.
And we're actually about to head back to another Secrets resort in a couple of weeks. We're heading to Secrets Moshe, also staying preferred club level there. So excited to check that resort out. It looks really different from some of the other ones that we've stayed at. And of course, we're celebrating our baby moon too, which will just be extra special. But if you're interested in visiting a Secrets resort, I did want to mention that I am a travel agent. I specialize in all-inclusive resorts, and it is completely free to work with a travel agent. So if you'd like more information or a no obligation quote, you can scan the QR code here, or you can go to the video description for my email address.
Another thing that we liked about this resort is that you didn't really have to go to the lobby much for anything. I think with this resort being newer, and a lot of the Secrets resorts for that matter, they use WhatsApp, so you could text with your butler if you're staying in a preferred club room, or your building concierge for any requests that come up. So the reasons for which you'd really have to go to the lobby for anything are kind of limited, which is kind of nice. So that means you can just focus on enjoying your vacation. You can just text with people while you're sitting by the pool.
Because that is actually kind of a personal pet peeve of mine, is like taking time out of your vacation to go and request something or go schedule something or go get an issue resolved, is to like take an hour out of your day to like go and wait to speak with somebody. So it's just great. You're at your pool chair, texting them and sorting everything you need without it interrupting any of your actual vacation time. The next thing that we loved about this resort is not only did they have a drink of the day, they had a non-alcoholic drink of the day. And as a pregnant woman, I was so excited about this because I was just so worried that the whole trip I was just gonna be drinking water and seltzer and an occasional Diet Coke or something. So when I saw that they did this and that they were actually like mocktail quality, like fancy drinks, like this made my trip. I had so much fun trying all of the different mocktails. And it's funny, actually, people that we were traveling with ended up always liking the mocktail better than the regular drink of the day, and just asking to add like vodka to the mocktail of the day. Every single day, our butler would message us everything happening at the resort that day, which is such a great feature. And so they would say like, here are the events happening, here is what restaurants are closed for the day, here's the drink of the day, here's the non-alcoholic drink of the day. And so every day I like was so excited to see what the non-alcoholic drink of the day was gonna be. If you're not preferred club, of course, you just go up to the bar and be like, hey, what's the drink of the day? What's the non-alcoholic drink of the day? They could help you. I'm sure you could just text your concierge in your building to ask, and they'll provide that information to you. But this was, for anybody who just doesn't drink or is pregnant, this was a fantastic resort for that.
Another cool detail that we liked about this resort is that in the restaurants, they had bag and purse hangers. So the little stands that they have next to the table. So if ladies are coming with a purse, or I would carry my backpack around sometimes, you could just put it on one of those stands and it doesn't need to be on the floor where it could trip somebody. So just a nice little detail that, they were thoughtful about.
And the last thing we really loved about the resort is that they weren't super strict about reserving pool chairs. The first Secrets resort that we went to, they were pretty strict there at Secrets Akumal. If you were going and reserving a spot, they'd be like, you're gonna sit down, right? And if not, they were gonna say, okay, you're gonna be back in 45 minutes. They didn't want anybody reserving it and then not showing up for a while. I did like that it was a little bit more chill here. They still had signs that said that your stuff could be removed if you're gone longer than 45 minutes, but the pool concierge kind of like saw you setting up and didn't say anything when you were walking away if you were going to get breakfast or going back to the room for a little bit. It was much more calm and tame. Never saw anybody's stuff being removed, ever. There was always plenty of chairs.
Yeah, the resort was at about 70% capacity when we were there, so they could be doing this based on how busy the resort is. So obviously if they're like 95% booked, they might be a little bit more strict with how, they manage the pool chairs and everything, but for the most part, to Jenna's point, we didn't have any problem with like the strictness of that rule.
And I actually overheard somebody while we were there saying they had like arrived late in the day and they wanted to be at a certain pool that the chairs were taken at that point, and they just told the concierge and they grabbed chairs from a nearby pool and dragged it over. So like, don't be afraid to ask for something if you're like, I really wanted to be over here. They're very flexible, and if you need your umbrella moved, if my legs are now in the sun. They look for that. They come by and they're like, did you want your feet in the sun? Because they are now, and they'll move the umbrella for you. So it's really the details like that we love.
So now we're gonna get into the things that we didn't like so much about Secrets Playa Blanca. The first of which was there were a lot of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Like more than we've noticed at any of the other resorts. This was our 9th all-inclusive resort that we've stayed at, and by far the most mosquito-y. I don't know if it's because of the time of year or where the resort is, but long story short, pack bug spray. It was a nice perk of staying Preferred Club that one of the kind of enhanced amenities in your room was bug spray. They were out in the morning and in the evening too. So middle of the day, it wasn't an issue, but if you're going out in the morning to watch the sunrise or walking to dinner at evening when it's at sunset or you're dark out, there's gonna be bugs out. So make sure you spray any bare skin just so you're covered from the bugs.
And this next thing that we didn't quite love is more a Secrets issue is not the right word, than a Secrets Playa Blanca complaint. So that is the dress code. Secrets in general has a pretty strict dress code to follow. For example, for pretty much all of the dinner restaurants, men need to be in long pants and closed-toed shoes. Jeans and sneakers are okay. I know he really hates not being able to wear shorts. I also find that, to me, I think he looks dressier wearing shorts and like boat shoes than he does wearing jeans and sneakers. And I think it's a little unfair toward men than women. So like, for example, one day I walked into the buffet with a bathing suit and shorts. Like, it was a one-piece bathing suit, but it's like, sleeveless, all this, bathing suit, and a pair of shorts. My brother wasn't allowed in the buffet because he had a sleeveless shirt on. So it's kind of a double standard there. Like, I can show my shoulders, but he couldn't. So it is very strict, and they will uphold it.
Yeah.
So it is something to keep in mind. Men need to make sure that they are packing long pants, closed-toed shoes, enough of that for all of the evenings, and enough regular pairs of like just t-shirts for like the buffet and stuff.
For me, a little bit of it is like reading the room or reading the resort. I could get by to an extent of wanting to uphold some level of professional or like nicer attire for dinner if you want that vibe. If you're walking into the Market Cafe for breakfast in the morning, like, and you're going to the pool after or an excursion, like, there shouldn't be a dress code for that. I get if you need, like, everybody needs to have a shirt on and bathing suits need to be dry and you need to have some sort of footwear on, but like getting more nitpicky than that is like, you're at a resort on vacation, like you're gonna go hang out by the pool. Let's maybe be a little bit more flexible there.
So again, this is more a Secrets overall than an actual resort specific complaint. So it's just something to keep in mind.
And before we move on to like our final quote unquote complaint, we do just want to acknowledge we understand how nitpicky some of this
is. And we don't think any of these things should be a deterrent for you going and experiencing Secrets Playa Blanca. It's beautiful. We had a wonderful time. Service truly excels here. This is just little things that popped up on our trip that we want to make sure we communicate with you. That is my job as a travel agent. That is our job at A Couple Travelers, is to honestly share our experience so you can make the best decision for your own trip. You work hard. These vacations are expensive. You want to make sure you're picking the right resort for what you are looking for. So that is why we were kind of going really nitty-gritty into some of these details. So hopefully you find this helpful.
Now, the final thing that we didn't like about Secrets Playa Blanca is the food. Now, before we kind of make this a mountain out of a molehill, it's not that the food was bad. I just think out of the other all-inclusive resorts that we've been to, there were more misses here in terms of the quality of the food and some of the meals than we've had at other resorts. Usually if we go to a Sandals or a Secrets, it's either the food is excellent across the board, as was the case with Akumal, or it's kind of it's fine.
Yeah.
Right? There was some really good and then there was some that was not so good. So I think that experience with the dining overall was very different from our resort experiences.
And I think for us, a lot of our issues with some of the meals that we had stemmed from the fact that we were a group of 6, and that seemed to overwhelm some of the servers. Because on our 6-day trip, there were 2 meals that we were kind of left oh, well, yeah, that was kind of bad. But a lot of it was with a group of 6, people not getting what they ordered and there being mix-ups. So then you're oh, yep, that was, it was one of those situations. And things taking a very long time and some things just never arriving at all. And at that point you're just skip it type thing. So I think a lot of our issues came from the fact that the servers we had at those 2 meals weren't prepared to serve a group of 6.
And and it's interesting because and we'll talk about Seaside Grill, the dinner we had there in a second, but the server at that meal actually said, I would recommend you order appetizers family style, as opposed to each person getting the appetizers that they wanted.
Yeah.
So there must be some way in which they're preparing the food that would make that more efficient on the kitchen and the servers, but it's not really the best guest experience because there's, Jenna has, a shellfish allergy. So there's stuff there that she wouldn't be able to eat, and so she wants to order things that she actually wants to eat, right?
And we don't want one of every appetizer. It's half the time it's we all wanted a salad to start,
right?
And then maybe one other thing or something. So it's I don't want to share one salad for the 6 of us type thing. The other thing with these, specifically Seaside Grill issue, was that the entrees and the food kept coming out with things on it that weren't on the menu. For example, all of the steaks at Seaside Grill came with pesto on top, and that wasn't listed anywhere. So it's if you all of a sudden you get your steak that you've been waiting for and you're oh well, I don't like pesto, I don't eat pesto, and now my steak is, in your eyes, inedible.
That's for me, that's just a kind of I have an adverse kind of taste to pesto.
Yeah.
And this meal was kind of taking a while too, so by the time the steak came out and it had that on it, I was pretty hungry by that point, so it wasn't, it wasn't the best.
In general, we also wish there was a little bit more variety at Barefoot Grill, which is the spot pretty much near 3 of the 4 pools that you can order lunch to.
Yeah.
To your pool chairs specifically. It was things like hot dogs and nachos, and there was a Caesar salad, chicken wings. But it really was just a couple of things. I would have liked to see more salad options, more sandwich options there. Again, this is getting really nitty gritty. And the pizza was kind of meh.
Yeah.
Usually at resorts, you're yeah, good pizza. It was just kind of meh. So again, nitpicky here, but it's gotta be said.
And the last thing we're gonna say about the food is that we wish there was more what we'll call surprise and delight moments at the resort. We had seen from Facebook groups and just other reviews online that they did these things that some of the other Secrets properties are known for, which is you have a barbecue pop-up for lunch, and you have taco stands, and an ice cream cart comes around and there's frozen fruit. There wasn't any of that during our stay, so I think the fact that we had seen online that the resort did do that at one point. I don't know if they discontinued it or if they just didn't do it during our stay. I think based on what we know is from our first Secrets experience and from what we know about the brand in general, it's something that we were more or less expecting, and we unfortunately didn't see that at Playa Blanca.
And the interesting thing here is that nowhere on the Secrets website does it say like that they will do these like lunches, these special lunches by the pool, or that you'll get ice cream or anything like that. It's just that we experienced it at one resort, and it was one thing that we loved about the resort, and the fact that we saw photos and videos online of it actually happening here. That was why we kind of went in with the impression that it would happen at this resort as well. So it was not that something that was included in the cost of the vacation was like denied and didn't happen. It's never really a given, but it's just like based on what we have seen online, we kind of had the expectation. So then it felt like a little bit of a bummer when we were there, like, oh, they're not doing that. So we just wish that they did a little bit more of that at the resort.
Overall, we had a great time at Secrets Playa Blanca. We would very much recommend this resort for an adults-only, all-inclusive stay in Mexico. And again, if you want to see what the resort is from a tour perspective or what the room is like, those videos are linked in the video description below.